Seems like you guys have been so close in some of these shots and either get penalized or maybe a protection issue or
Yeah.
whatever. What's that been like, just seeing that repeatedly kind of happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously frustrating, but I mean, it's part of the growth process. I mean, there's nothing you can do besides coach it better and find opportunities in practice to, for me to put it on my ownness on myself first and figure out where can I do this a little bit better? Where can I find an extra protection here? Where can I find an extra perimeter drill for no holding? Where can I find some more noise to not jump? And there's always little, kind of little Achilles things that are grabbing us on some of our plays that are big plays. And those are the ones that can go from a 6-play drive, now it's got to be an 18-play drive, and you're like, holy cow, that's where you're gonna get tired. And so we've really owned that. There's no elephant in the room when it comes to certain things in our offense that I can do better for us, or that hey, those shots are the ones we got to hit because we got guys running down the field, or we got a big screen and it's going in the distance, or whatever it may be. But those details are the ones that we're most excited to fix, and I think our group is going to respond fine.
What did you make of Eusebio's impact on Saturday, and how easy it is to have him kind of stepping into a big role for that offense?
Yeah, Derek did an awesome job. I mean, he's done an awesome job, obviously going back to last season for some of the things he did. A really good a guy who really accepts his role and really is a team guy. I can't say enough good things about Derek. It's the reason he's on the team. It's the reason he went on a scholarship. It's the reason he's able to make those plays. He's consistent. There's certain roles that certain guys have. He accepts his. He dominates his role, and he got an opportunity. He was in the plan a little bit last week right there at the end, and I decided to use it and pull it out, and it paid off, and he did an awesome job. And so it was awesome to count on him, and Sam counted on him, and it was really good to see. So he's awesome, man.
Do you feel the passing game in the second half was probably the best it performed, from the beginning of the season?
Yeah, it was a good transition from being able to get ourselves back, our cleats back in the ground, running the ball, and maybe able to transition to some passing game stuff, whether it was going to be the play action game, whether it was going to be some screen game, or just some drop back game, control passing. And that piece comes the slowest of all offenses and all young players and all systems, is the drop back pass game. And you got to be able to push forward and push through and not beat yourself up too bad about it, and to continue to find little ways to get in rhythm and get the quarterback confident and work some things and work the protections and get guys rolling. So that was good to see, especially in that last 2-minute drive, to be able to finish it. And what a clean way to finish a game in regards to a game that we needed on the road that was really hard and a really good team. And so there's a lot that's going to come from that 2-minute drive to win that game.
Coach Dillingham talked at length about, not at length, but about how much of a game changer Bud Clark is, about how good he is at disguising different coverages and whatnot. How much of a challenge is it to prepare for a true X factor like that?
Yeah, no, they do a great job. I mean, I've worked with Andy for 3 years now at the last place, and some championship teams and Rose Bowl teams we're on, and they do a great job. He's got one of the guys who worked with us also at Oregon at secondary, and so they communicate really well. They'll do a fantastic job. Their disguises and their movements, them creating their matchups and angles. They do a really fantastic job. I've got our hands full with these guys. So we got to do a good job with our eyes, good job locating guys, good job communicating at post snap late, because they do an awesome job. That's their whole key, and it'll be a good test.
What does that add to the chess match when it's like somebody that you're going against that you know so well?
Well, being this old now, it's hard not to find guys you haven't played. So I wish it was not that case, but no, it'll be cool. We haven't seen each other in a long time. We've all changed a little bit. It's part of the nature of it. It's just fun to see guys that you've worked with or that you got a lot of respect for, and to go up against other guys. I mean, Trey, with their corners coach, was on my staff when I was head coach. I mean, it's just, I know his wife, I know his kid. It's like, it's cool. I know Andy's kids, and it's just you cut a lot of bread together and had a lot of dark hours together at certain places. So it's really cool to go up against and to be competing against guys and have a lot of respect for.
Yesterday, Levitt talked about how he doesn't want to move forward scramble as much as he did against Baylor. How much do you try and balance having that extra dimension of the offense with the scrambling, while also keeping him healthy and making sure he's getting the pocket?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough with a guy he's going to say that, but when the light's on, that's kind of what Sam does at times. I mean, obviously, if you had your way, you want to be back there to sit clean and work through rhythm and play ball and not have things present themselves that his innate ability says, I'm going to go. Because really, sometimes when he goes, he's just going because it's an innate ability. So he sees something and he just goes. The rest of it should be still going on. So yeah, our design isn't for him to go out and be the workhorse and cowbell to run the football or scrambling around. Those present itself, and when it does, they're usually pretty productive. I mean, it is a reason it's one of the primary, calculators on some of the things that you look for quarterbacks is can they extend plays, they can create plays on their own. But yeah, he's got to do a good job of getting down and taking care of himself, and if it doesn't have to go to that, should it go to that? So
building off of the run game, just how much of an impact is Kyson coming back in a full role going to have for the entire offense? I believe, for relief for Sam, for everybody, for the O-line.
Yeah, I mean, Sip's a big part of our group. He's been around us. He knows the language. He's been out a few weeks with an ankle, but to have him back in the role is going to be really, really good. It's going to be good for just the ability for the whole group to be able to take a big, deep breath, take some load off, and the veteranship and him here in the offense. And I think he wants to get back out there. He's a good spark for us, a good catalyst that we need, and hopefully get injected back in this week.
We can talk about how you've done in short yardage and goal line situations.
Yeah, I mean, right now in short yardage situations, we're trying to find ourselves a little bit. I think we got to figure that out. We're trying to do some things that, in regards to maybe what we've done in our offense, maybe have to look at who we are a little bit more, and be creative in that regard. Sometimes you want to go ahead and do things that are identity type of runs. Sometimes you got to be able to put guys in spots now that you're saying, okay, maybe we got to do this with this guy. Maybe this is that. Maybe this is the role. And so we're got to play with that. You got to do a good job in those situations. Those are critical downs. We've done a really good job in the past in those situations. Now it's finding out, okay, who is this group and what can we do to do that? I can be more aggressive. I can get a little more creative on maybe some of the stuff we're doing without getting outside of the framework of it's 3rd and 1, still 3rd and 1. And so
perimeter blocking such a strength last year with Melquan and X, and you guys are working on that.
Yeah.
Kenny said, so how's that?
Huge part of our offense because we play from sideline to sideline with the screen game, the perimeter game. Quan and X are such veteran guys in the roles they had last year, not going back last year, but you still got new guys now who are now getting that look and what it's supposed to be like on a Saturday and a game day and how that feels. And so you've got to grow to do that. It's not, we're going to work your tail off in practice. We've obviously magnified the work in practice on it, but there's been some huge plays this year that have come back that have cost us throughout all the games. And so we're going to do a better job coaching it. It's my job to coach it better and to keep working it and not just give up on it. Find ways to be able to work on your job, work on your details of your job and take ownership of it. And it's a big part of our offense, not going to change. You know? Try and tell him not to. I'm going to give Andy a call and tell him stop it. No, they do a good job. We've got to be able to protect him and see him. One of the questions earlier was they do such a good job disguising their looks, changing their fronts, stemming, moving. You got to do a good job with these guys with your eyes because they're going to come at the snap from different spots at different angles. So you got to do a job with the protections. You got to know the launch point where the quarterback's at. You got to know the timing of when it's going to get out. We just got to do. We're going to have a real big task up front to be able to move on some of these angles, which is a good one.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thanks, guys. I'm good.
Appreciate it.